ॐ वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखचेतदक्षं नमामि. Om. This chant means we pay our salutation to Lord Dakshinamurti, the teacher of the three worlds, the wise one who breaks the misery of birth and death. Sitting on the ground near a banyan tree are all the sages and seekers of the truth. They sit by the side of the one who gives wisdom. Chapter 13 is entitled Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Our body is the Kshetra and the Atma within is the Kshetrajna, the knower. The entire teaching of the Bhagavad Gita is based upon the Mahavakya Tattvam Asi. We are that. We the Jivas are truly Satchit Ananda Atma, Brahman, Ishvara. The first 6 chapters of the Gita unfolded the meaning of Tvam, Kshetra, how we the Jivas, by doing our righteous duties as an offering to the law of Dharma, to purify and steady our mind, qualifies us for the knowledge of Brahman. The second 6 chapters unfolded the meaning of Tat Kshetrajna. Brahman, the Atma within, is eternal and unborn. The last 6 chapters unfolds the meaning of Asi, how by converting the knowledge of Brahman into wisdom, we recognize our oneness with Brahman. This is yoga. Some Gita editions begin with an additional verse where Arjuna asks a question grouped into 3 parts. He said, "O Keshava, this I wish to know. Etat vedittum ichchami Keshava." The first part of the question is what is meant by nature, and indeed the one who knows this nature. Prakritim Purusham Cha Eva. In episode 6, the Tattvas, the principle of universal creation, we learned that Tattvas 1 to 5 is the only truth Satya, where Ishvara, by having Maya under his control, is Purusha, the cause of this creation. And Prakriti is the effect. Prakriti is the manifestation of this creation from Tattva 13 to 36. Prakriti is Mithya. It depends upon Purusha for its existence. That means the truth in this entire creation, in all the planets, all the plants, animals, human beings, is Purusha, Ishvara. The second part of the question is he wants to know what is meant by field, and indeed the knower of the field. Kshetram Kshetrajna Evacha. Kshetra means a field, and our body, mind, senses is the field. And Kshetrajna means Brahman, Ishvara, the pure consciousness, the knower of the field. With a purified and a steady mind, as we cultivate certain values and attitudes, our mind becomes conducive to recognize that truly we are Kshetrajna Brahman. The third part of the question is the means of gaining this knowledge and what is to be known. Jnanam Jneyam Cha. Jneyam means Brahman, Ishvara, Atma, Kshetrajna, Purusha, the truth, which we must know in our life. To know Jneyam, we must have Jnanam. Jnanam normally means knowledge, but here Jnanam means our mind must be endowed with certain values and attitudes to recognize Brahman. And chapter 13 is the answer to these three questions. Om Namah Shivaya. Episode 71, chapter 13, verses 1 and 2. What is the field, Kshetra, and who is the knower of the field, Kshetrajna? In verse 1, Sri Krishna addresses Arjuna as Kaunteya, the son of Kunti. He says, first, this body-mind senses is called the field, Kshetra. Idam shariram kshetram iti abhidiyate. Idam shariram kshetram means our body-mind senses that is subject to birth, existence and death. It includes our physical, subtle and causal body, along with its physiological and psychological complexes. It is through this physical body that we reap the fruits of our action. It is also called Dharma Kshetre and Karma Kshetre, a place of pilgrimage, where with a purified mind we cultivate certain values and attitudes to qualify for the knowledge of Brahman, to know that the pure consciousness, Chaitanya Atma, is Kshetrajna. This pure consciousness is pervading from the sole of our feet to the top of our head. It is a Kshetrajna that sees this physical body as an object from within. Second, when we know the distinction between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna, then we are called the knower of the field. Etat yo veti tam prahu, Kshetrajna iti tat vidha. This knowledge is revealed by the Shastra, and the Vedanta teacher teaches us this distinction between the Kshetra, our body, and the Kshetrajna, the observer of this body. Otherwise, we will mistake this body to be the Kshetrajna, Atma. In verse 2, Sri Krishna addresses Arjuna as Bharata, which simply means one born of the Bharata family. But here the more appropriate meaning is one who revels in the knowledge of Brahman. And when we revel in Brahma Vidya, in the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, we are Bharatas. First, and here Sri Krishna speaks about himself as the Kshetrajna. He says, and also, may you know me as the knower of the body of all the bodies. Kshetrajnam cha api mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu. We must know Brahman, Parameshvara, is the Kshetrajna. This one Kshetrajna is seemingly divided into countless forms, beginning from Lord Brahma, the creator, to a blade of grass. It is only seemingly divided, not essentially divided. Just like one sun is seen as many when reflected on many mirrors. The Kshetrajna is not divided at all. It is free from all the differences brought about by the Kshetra. In all the Kshetra, there is only one Kshetrajna. Second, this knowledge of the body and the knower of the body is truly knowledge. Kshetra Kshetrajna Nyor Jnanam Yattach Jnanam. Now we know not only this creation, but also our physical, subtle, and causal body is the Kshetra. And our Kshetra has no independent existence without the Kshetrajna. And Sri Krishna as Ishvara says, this is my vision, Matam Mama, my final verdict. At verse 2, we shall take a break, and next we are going to learn in detail more about the Kshetra. So till then, Om Namah Shivaya.